Congratulations, you finally made it to 4 p.m. You know what that means. Happy hour. It's time to kick back, relax, and dive into the world of sports with the Young and Norvelle Show. Whether you're catching up on the latest scores, analyzing the big plays, or gearing up for tonight's games, we've got you covered. So grab a cold one, settle in, and let's talk sports. Here they are, Patrick Young and Terry Norvelle.
All right, we're right back at it here on a Monday. Glad to have you hanging out with us. The Young and Norvelle Show kicking off, and we have a lot to talk about, including some Jaguar news and notes. But let's welcome our co-host in, Mr. Patrick Young from Parts Unknown. Pat, what's shaking, my friend? Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Too loud? Too high? Oh, this is Barry White. This is Barry White. This is Barry White. And I sell. Wee! Wee! Hey. Hey, I'm just now hitting puberty, Patrick. My voice is changing. I'm just hitting puberty. Just a young guy is all I am. A young... Yes, I think so. We got Ben Dobbins producing. He'll hit a button or something. Ben, give me some baritone, man. Give me some Barry White. Give me some Barry White. Lou Rawls. Give me some Barry White. Some Lou Rawls. I need some Lou Rawls here. Hey, Ben Dobbins.
No idea.
You don't know. Wow, he doesn't know. He doesn't know. Oh my goodness, Barry White, one of the great singers of all time. Great singers of all time. Yes, he did. He did. And I know Ben doesn't know that reference. Ben, you don't know the Wilt Chamberlain reference.
I do know that reference.
Oh, yeah.
That reference I do know.
He said he does. He said he does. Oh, behave. Oh, behave. Where has this show gone in the first 2 minutes? Oh, Patrick Young. Hey, Pat, I got some Jaguar news I want to get out real quick. Nothing big, but number one, remember, everybody, this is mandatory minicamp week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all the players, unless they are injured or have some type of excuse, obviously, all the players will be on the field working out Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for the Jags. Wednesday is the fan day, so you got to get registered. Go to the Jaguar website and get registered. Wednesday's the fan day. And also, Jaguar news, the Jaguars have re-signed punter or extended punter Logan Cook. They gave him a 4-year extension. Yep. And Patrick, I think if you take position groups, he may be the best player comparatively to the rest of the league that the Jaguars have. You know what I'm trying to say there? You get it?
I think the Jaguars only have maybe 7 or 8 positions, specific players that are not fighting for their jobs, and Logan Cook would be one of those.
He's a good punter. He's a weapon.
He's a really good dude too. I met him. I met him before. He's a really nice guy. Him and his wife, they're
nice.
I mean, he likes to hunt. He's an outdoors guy, and he takes his job very seriously.
Really good at it.
Last year, you look at a lot of punts that kept the Jaguars in games to give them a chance. Because so often teams were pinned in less than 10 yards and had 90 yards to go.
Yeah.
So
he was good.
Happy to see that he's still here for another 4 years.
The biggest problem I think that the Jaguars had with Logan Cook was he punted too much. He punted too much. They don't want you to punt that much. Put the ball in the end zone. Finish it off with.
He can't control that.
Pat, I didn't really pay a whole lot of attention to Game 2 in the NBA Finals. I thought last night's game was as close to a lock as we will have in a long. No. I mean,
Casey was trying to talk you out
of
it, but dude,
I don't think you could win.
You put 100 down. 100 down. What you would have came back with? I don't know.
101. 101, I think. Yeah, you couldn't get much. You couldn't get much for it, I don't think. Didn't you think that was pretty understood? OKC was going to win that game last night.
Just very strange that you go from like right now we're so big on labels sometimes, like obviously Shea Gildress is the MVP, so that's a label he earned and a label that has teeth to it, but they're calling like Tyrese Halliburton the moment. And
Nice.
I saw no moments. I saw no moments last night.
No.
There were some where he was very aggressive, but Richard Jefferson, they kept saying like you got to be more aggressive in the beginning of the game. He had five points, Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah.
Up until the fourth quarter,
and barely shot the ball.
You absolutely knew the Thunder were gonna win that game. There's no way that they were gonna go down 0-2, and I think it's a big response game for Indiana coming back to game 3 without a doubt. Like, they got, punched in the mouth is an understatement. They got, two peas. They didn't even see the punch coming. They knew it was coming and still didn't see it.
Yeah, that who's that guy, Dort, D-O-R-T? He D'd up Halliburton. He D'd up Halliburton pretty good. Boy, OKC, when they really dig, they can play defense, man. When they really dig in.
Well, look at this. Lou Dort, he was first or second team all defense. Then
Caruso.
Jason Wallace.
Yeah.
He's a fantastic defender. I knew that about him when he was in Kentucky. And then Alex Caruso, he found a way to make himself extremely valuable. And he can knock down open threes, but he's like one of the best defenders too. Indiana shouldn't have won game 1. The reason they won game 1, one of them, they had like 15 turnovers in the first half. They only had 4 in the second half.
Yeah.
So Oklahoma City's defense, they're going to have to keep disrupting the Indiana for the entirety of the game.
Yeah, I tell you, that Caruso guy, along with a bunch of the guys on that team, they play good defense. Caruso, I think, watching him play and remember him, I think he was at Texas A&M several years back.
Was.
Yeah, he would just as soon step in a passing lane and pick off a pass and lay up he'd just as soon do that than make a three-pointer. I mean, he loves playing defense. He loves digging in, man. He does.
And actually remember, we played against him one time when I was in college, and honestly, I think he got a clean block because I was going for a dunk, but they called the foul. I think he actually might have got it clean, but the refs blew the whistle. So he's always been that kind of fearless, I don't care how big you are, I'm going for it type of athlete.
Yeah. Did you make the free throw? Say yes.
I don't know.
Just say yes.
Yeah,
of course you did. You made 2 of them. All net. Didn't touch the rim at all.
All net. Didn't touch the rim. Hey, whether it touches the rim or it touches the backboard.
Yeah.
How many points does it matter? That doesn't count for it, Terry.
Yeah. Nope.
2.
Yep. Definitely. Hey, I tried to get I couldn't find a basketball today. I was down at the arena, and we were just doing some stuff, moving some stuff around, and they had the 2 basketball stanchions down in a back room, stored away. You know how they can bring them down. And I was trying, Pat, to find a basketball because then I was going to get somebody to take an upshot of me up there in the rim about to throw one down, Patrick. But I was only going to have the shot from like my waist up, so you couldn't see that I was standing on my feet. It felt good to touch the rim, though, man. I've never really touched a basketball rim, Patrick. Never touched.
I don't know what to say to you right now.
Patrick, I'm 5'0", man. I was up there and I was in the man. I need. It felt good, Patrick.
I understand everything you're saying, but
I was slapping the backboard. I slapped the backboard like I blocked somebody's shot, and then I actually hit the backboard. I was a rim protector today, buddy. I was a rim protector, but I couldn't find a basketball. I needed a basketball, Patrick. I got to carry.
Absolutely.
Needed a basketball.
Go to this area. I have something. Our show typically isn't ever political, but just something that for people to be in the know. There's Simone Biles and Riley Gaines.
I know. What's
in sports with each other? If you know Simone Biles, the Olympic gold medalist, and Riley Gaines. She was a swimmer.
Pat, we got a bad connection. Move your phone. Move your phone around a little bit.
Let me take my.
That's better.
Take this off.
There you go. Yeah, I want to hear this.
If I take my video off, it might be better.
Yeah, that sounds a lot better. Talk about what's going on. I know they're having a war of the words, but pick it up there.
Well, yeah, I'm not exactly sure when it started, but I know Simone Biles. She tweeted at Riley Gaines because Riley Gaines has been very. She's an activist. She's adamant to protect women in women's sports, that, you know, she not only for the competition, but for like being in a locker room.
Yeah.
Like Terry, I would hate for my 12-year-old daughter to have to be in a locker room before she even thinks
I
about
agree.
or has even seen a male body and
I
to be
agree.
exposed to something that would just be so confrontational for her. Like her brain is not developed enough to know what to deal with that. And you know, Riley Gaines had to compete while Leah Thomas, that was the swimmer at Penn State.
Yeah. Yeah.
And most recently, there was a softball pitcher
Yeah.
that completely shut out the opposing team in state. And I didn't like looking at this young person. She just looked like Keegan, the girl that just won the World Series.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tall and skinny, just like really tall and skinny. But and then you come to find out that this person was actually born biological male, and Riley Gaines was, you know, very forward, like this isn't right, blah blah blah. And Simone Biles, she goes in and says, first off, you're bullying,
Yeah.
and that you should try to find a way for things to be more inclusive, which my opinion is not what matters right now, but having the idea of a all trans person sporting event or, you know, something, she's like, you should be doing that. And then she went on to body shame Riley Gaines, which is so ironic. Riley Gaines, she's a very pretty girl. Both Simone Biles and
they're both very attractive girls.
Riley Gaines is 5'5", 135 pounds. Simone Biles is 4'8", by the way. I didn't realize she was 4'8", but some things that, you know, because I'm not on sides, but I'm just seeing the hypocrisy. Simone Biles went on trial against Larry Nassar.
Yes.
Talking about how awful it was for this man to be in their space. And then Simone Biles also has been body shamed for how muscular she is. She's a great athlete. She's one of the best. And the moral of the story, what Riley Gaines was trying to say, and most people, is like, Simone, as wonderful as you are,
right?
There was a boy that developed and worked as hard as you did and was able to categorize himself in you would lose every single time. Every single time. And that's kind of where that's where she stands, that's who she is, and that's where that situation is. And again, something not to be political about, we try to keep the show light and funny.
Yeah, sure.
It just is something to keep an eye out on.
Yeah, I was just following the headlines. I knew they were going at it pretty good via social, and you know, they're both strong-willed women, and they have their stances, and you know, okay, you know, we live in America, freedom of speech. So
we live in America. We live in America. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Interesting though, interesting. And you know, Riley Gaines, you know, she was maybe not an Olympic gold medal swimmer, but she was an accomplished. She swam at Kentucky, I think, right? I think she was
Kentucky, and then maybe Penn State, maybe.
Okay.
Or maybe it was all Kentucky.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, that's definitely in the news right now. Pat, we've got the entire college World Series except one spot tonight. Murray State will take on Duke for the 8th and final spot. Man, I watched so much baseball, and there was some
good. Right? Me too.
There was some really good super regional matchups, including a heartbreaker for both Florida State and Miami. The Noles and the Canes played their tails off, man. They both came up just short, but
two-run home runs in the 9th inning.
Oh man, that'll hurt you. And then,
hey man, my favorite to win it all is Arkansas.
Me too. That's my pick. Been my pick.
They're awesome.
They're so good. They're good. I hated that Arkansas and Tennessee had to match up in a Super Bowl because one of them gets knocked out. By the way, speaking of that, I've got the bracket now. We've got 7 of the 8 teams, so the bracket is out. And I hate what I'm seeing. On the right side of the bracket, you've got LSU and Arkansas play. They're in the same 4 quad, and they play each other. The only 2 SEC. I hate that they're matched up together.
LSU didn't make it. I could have sworn they.
No. I'm saying they made it. They're playing Arkansas. I hate the fact that two SEC teams are playing each other in Omaha, and they're on the same side. And So right now you've got on the right side of the bracket.
I thought they tried to avoid that, as best they could.
Well, they do, but then
Those teams have already played.
Then once you get ranked, seated out in Omaha, sometimes you just can't. You can't. Avoid it. So real quick for people that haven't heard, on the right side of the bracket, and the tournament will start in Omaha on Friday. You'll have half the field play Friday and the other half on Saturday. And UCLA is on the right side. They will play, their first game will be the winner of tonight, Duke or Murray State. So UCLA will play Duke or Murray State. This is the right side of the bracket. The bottom of the right side is LSU Arkansas. So UCLA, LSU Arkansas, and whoever wins tonight will be on the right side of the bracket. They will not play the left side of the bracket until the championship. The left side of the bracket will have Louisville taking on Oregon State in game 1, and then Arizona taking on Coastal Carolina. That's the left side of the bracket. What about, did you see what Arizona did? Unbelievable. Arizona, they get sent across the country to take on North Carolina in Chapel Hill, and North Carolina is playing good baseball. North Carolina beat 18-2 Arizona.
18-2.
And
I literally was watching that game like, dang, how did this match? Like, gosh, why did this matchup happen? North Carolina's going to run away with this easily.
And darned if Arizona didn't come back and win 2 in a row on the road after getting beat 18-2. Man, I didn't see that coming. Did not see that coming. And then
they really hit the ball well, and their pitching came to life. And
they really did.
Great defense.
Yeah.
Arizona has some really awesome. Even in that 18-2 loss, their center fielder had like a crazy.
Oh my God, he had 2 of them.
And then the very next play, he robbed a home run.
That was unbelievable, wasn't it?
It was awesome.
I'm like, this poor guy's breaking his collarbone in an 18-2 loss, but they ended up winning. Boy, I watched almost all of the Miami-Louisville game, the elimination game, and man, that was a good game. Back and forth. The Canes, man, they came so close. And then you felt for FSU last night, man. The Noles give up in the elimination game last night, 9 o'clock first pitch. The Noles give up 7 in the first, and the game was over. They were down 7 in the first inning they gave up, and it was over. It got to be 13-3. The Noles closed it to a respectable 14-10. But, yeah, you can't give up a 7 spot in the first inning on the road and expect to come. That was tough. They played well, though. FSU played. That was a good series out in Oregon State. Really good 3 games. Fun as hell.
Man, Tennessee, you just love Vitello. Just his. You might not like him as a person, but I like him as a personality.
Oh yeah,
and what he brings to baseball.
His team plays his.
Arkansas too, but I didn't realize Arkansas's coach. Yeah.
Tennessee's team
they got
plays
how many warnings that those guys
did. Yes. Yeah, and both of those teams play with a lot of personality, if you know what I mean. Tennessee plays with a lot of personality, just like their coach. But I hate the fact that I think Tennessee and Arkansas might be the 2 best teams going. And one of them had to play each other. They had to play each other. I hated that. I just hated that. I'm with you, though.
But, it's so crazy, man. Gosh, Vanderbilt got knocked out.
Texas
is out. A&M is out. Oh, A&M had a bad season.
Yeah.
But goodness.
Georgia got knocked out on their own field, and they had a good team. Georgia was good this year.
Yep.
Yeah, they got knocked out by Duke. But so we've got 7 of the 8 tonight. Will be the
How's Charlie Condon doing, by the way?
He's been injured. I'm not sure if he's swinging it. Speaking of, he broke a wrist or something. Dang. Yeah, he's coming back from a broken wrist, which is tough for a baseball player, as you can imagine. Broken wrist. Oof. Did you hear about Caglione going nuts yesterday? The big slugger from Florida.
No, he went nuts yesterday.
4 for 4.
He went nuts yesterday.
He was 4 for 4 yesterday. He was 2 for 21.
Wow.
He was 2 for 21 in his first 21 at bats, and then he went 4 for 4 yesterday. So that helps. That helps a lot.
Yeah, that helps a lot. Yeah, I mean, and you knew he was going to have a strong. I mean, who wouldn't? It always is pretty cool when you see guys get their first call up.
Yeah.
And they get a hit or they actually get a home run. But you know that's so far and few in between. That actually happens. So, I think he's in the right spot and. hopefully he can get adjusted to some major. I mean, there's going to be guys you go your whole career that just you'll never figure out.
Yeah, yeah.
Some pitchers might get you like that.
Hey, we talked a lot about basketball to get started here on the program. Don't forget the Jacksonville Basketball Academy up and running. Summer camps all summer long. They go all the way through early August. You can get signed up. I think this is only like week 2 of 9 consecutive basketball camps that they will have, hosted by the Jacksonville Basketball Academy. Coach Jim Martin over at Providence. He has a wonderful staff. Pat, you probably know a lot of those guys that are helping put on these camps, and they're going to learn a lot of fundamentals. It doesn't matter what level your basketball player is at and what level you want to get them to. Pat, they can match up a camp, right, for each basketball level. Oh, do we lose Pat?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a really good plan with how they do things like this, and it's in terms of skill level. Obviously, it's going to be a lot less intense
Sure.
the younger the kids are.
Sure.
But you know what's cool? One of my mom's best friends, she has a 12-year-old and I think Jeremiah is a 9-year-old.
Okay.
And he absolutely loves basketball. My best friend, Matt Santoni, that's one of the coaches out there. He's like, you know Mr. Santoni, Coach Matt. Like, yeah, I know Coach Matt. I said, and you better listen to him when he coaches you up.
Yeah.
He knows the game. And I was just so impressed. Jeremiah was shooting some hoops around at their, a few weeks ago, went to hang out. And I was just so impressed at 9 years old how well he can shoot it, how well he can dribble it. And I told him, like, when I was your age, I couldn't do any of that.
Yeah, how about that?
Not a single thing.
How about that? Great camps, different skill levels. Your basketball player will work on, of course, shooting, ball handling, passing, footwork, understanding the game, which I think is very, very important, and also teamwork. Patrick, also teamwork. Pat, real quick, in terms of and again, to get all the information of the camps, go to their website. Just Google Jacksonville Basketball Academy. It's that easy. Jacksonville Basketball Academy. You'll find all the information and can get your basketball future star all signed up. Patrick, did you mess with your shot much? Were you a guy that, a lot of baseball players mess with their batting stance? Did you mess around with your shot much?
Yeah, you're and sometimes to a fault. I think that some guys naturally cannot get into that perfect shooting motion, and that's okay.
Yeah.
You look at great shooters like Kevin Durant. He doesn't have perfect, what people would say is perfect shooting form.
Yeah.
But he has consistency.
Yeah.
And he's always on balance, and he. Those are the things, like I would, hand position, elbow in, making sure you don't pause so many things, and you end up getting paralyzed.
Yeah.
Just mentally thinking of all these things when, yes, you do need to improve your shot, but improve it to a place where you can be consistent.
Where you're a guy.
In terms of you want to shoot the ball the same way every single time. Shoot it the same exact way. That's you want to swing the same in baseball. You pitch. You want all your pitches to look like they're going to be the same.
Yeah. Well said. I know in baseball, a baseball batter will tinker with their stance mainly when it's going bad, when they're in a slump. When it's going good, you try to mimic everything. But when it's going, I guess basketball is probably like that. Same. Hey, if you had a game where you missed, you were 2 of 10, you probably tinkered with your shot a little bit, and hoping you could find that sweet spot.
Yeah, certainly. Oh my goodness, without a doubt.
All right, Pat, we're going to take a quick break here. It's time for Out of Bounds. We got our resident comedian, Mike Freed, should join us. We'll get some silliness going here on the other side, lighten things up. We do it on Mondays quite a bit. We will take things out of bounds. Still got a lot to talk about. The House settlement came down. Big deal for college sports. We'll get into that. Major League Baseball, big weekend we just came out of. We've got some stuff to note. Another incredible outing by Paul Skeens. I think it's U.S. Open golf week, right? I think the U.S. Open is this week. We'll talk about that.
I think so.
Yeah, and a whole lot more. He's Patrick Young. I'm Terry Norvelle. Stick around. Plenty more of the Young and Norvelle Show coming back after this timeout.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jax Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jax Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jax Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dynamic Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The schedules are out for another summer of soccer here in Jacksonville with the Armada men's and women's under-23 squads, starting with the ladies and the home opener on May 24th. 2 weeks later, they're back in Northeast Florida for a June 7th matchup. The season wraps up with a pair of Friday night home matches June 20th and the 27th. As for the boys in blue, they debut against a couple league newcomers on May 9th and 17th respectively, with more home dates on May 31st, June 14th, and June 21st. All those matches are at Edward Waters University, and you can watch them live on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Those teams are a big focus on Fleet and Footy, covering the big soccer stories each week on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
I'll put one in the back of the net for you.
Join us for player profiles, fun interviews, and the very latest on the Fleet and all things footy. That's every Thursday at 2 p.m.
Empower a future, inspire a dream. It's a bold but simple mission for the Jacksonville Police Athletic League known as Jags PAL. Help the next generation of kids in Jacksonville shape a brighter future. Their after-school programs, teenage leadership programs. There's community outreach.
This has been just an awesome opportunity to be out here with my colleagues and do something good for the community. It's really been an interesting opportunity to just see everybody work together in a way that we don't normally in the office.
And there's sports. There are also ways you can help the next generation with a donation of any kind. Just visit jaxpal.org to get more information. Empower a future, inspire a dream with Jags PAL.
When you think sports, you think Action Sports Jax, the official station of the Jaguars, on location for every game. But the most experienced team in town doesn't stop there. From high school football to the big events in the area, Action Sports Jax is always on. Now, we take that to a new level. Action Sports Jax 24/7 is around-the-clock coverage of the teams you love and the moments you can't miss. The best local sports in Jacksonville on Action Sports Jax 24/7.
Coming in hot is what we're doing. Look at Ben Dobbins bringing us back hot, let me tell you. No screw. Hey, when Ben Dobbins is producing, let me tell you something. It's a tight ship as we welcome our resident comedian, Mr. Mike Freed, to the program. Hey, Ben's in there today. Wow. Casey's out. Let's see if we can get his mic on, Ben. Oh, yeah, you're hot.
Working
oh, you're hot. Look at there. You got your own little thing. See that out of bounds? There's Patrick Young.
Look at PYT.
How you doing, man? Patrick, we got Mike coming in hot today. You coming
PYT.
PYT.
I'm not sure if you can call me PYT, Mike.
That's, I don't know. You're pretty. You're
that's a little out of bounds.
Certainly prettier than me, and
oh my gosh,
I wouldn't call you a thing. That would be inappropriate.
All right, so guys, we got a lot of stuff to get to with our resident comedian Patrick Young's here. We got Mike Freed. I'm Terry Norvelle. I'm the least funny of this whole threesome here. Did y'all hear last week?
Yes.
The sports bra. Have y'all heard of that? It's the sports bra bar. Opened about a year ago. We had it on the show.
Can you say it 10 times real quick?
Sports bra.
Not even once.
It's in Portland.
Okay.
It's been open about a year. It's a sports bar, supposedly the first of its kind.
Okay.
That is dedicated. If you go in, all the TVs are
women's
on
sports.
Women's sports.
I got you.
And Mike, you might have thought a year ago, oh, that's never going to make it. They just expanded by 4 cities. They expanded the sports bra bar.
Yeah, I like watching women's sports, and not just for the nefarious reasons.
Yeah.
I think the older I get, the slower they move, the slower my brain moves. Like women's tennis, I'll watch any day of the week. I mean, that's so much easier to watch.
That little, I don't know her name, but the Italian girl, she's really short. Man, she's awesome.
Who's not really short to you, though? Everybody's really short to you.
She's like 5'8", or no, not 5'8". She's like 5'4".
Hey, don't ever say
girl.
it. I'd take 5'8" and run.
I'd be really.
Hey, I'd take 5'8" and run to the house, Patrick. You know, did you hear Patrick? He laughed at me. The beginning of the segment, I was telling Pat, I was doing a little work down at the arena today.
Yeah.
Right, and in the back, not out on the floor, because it's not basketball season.
Right.
There were the basketball goals that they have in the arena.
Sure.
And they're put down.
They collapse.
They're retractable.
Yes.
So they were about 4 foot high. And oh my God, if I could have found a basketball.
Yeah.
I've never been up in the, I've never touched the rim and stuff like that. I wanted a basketball. I was looking for a basketball and was going to get one of my buddies to shoot me like.
Right.
Dang, you've never actually touched the rim.
Not really, boy. And Mike, that's high space up there now.
Nope. I can't even imagine. I've never had to worry about like what I would do if I had an opportunity to hold on to the rim.
So you've never had goaltending called against you?
Now, I can jump and touch the bottom of the net. Does that count for anything?
That counts.
Does that count for, what do you call that, Patrick?
I always ask Pat.
Goaltending?
And he'll tell a good story.
Not anything.
It's useless, isn't it?
Failed dreams?
The Mike Freed, the story of Mike Freed.
Unrealistic expectations.
It's called Go Play Baseball.
That'd be great if only I could.
Go play baseball. Mike, what sport is in your wheelhouse? Is there a wheelhouse sport for you?
I think it's part of the reason I like this job, because I've been researching different sports. I think I found one, Terry. It's freestyle scooter dancing. Freestyle scooter dancing is
How does that work?
Big in Eastern Europe. They describe it as think breakdancing meets razor scooters on stage with music. So it's sort of.
And Ben, do we think we got a clip from that or no? No, I don't think we could find that.
Freestyle scooter
It's so
dancing.
popular we couldn't find it. Mike.
Yeah. And then, now there's another one that I think would suit me well, because I don't know if your viewers / listeners know me well enough to know that I'm pretty fastidious. I like to keep things neat. I'm pretty organized. I like to keep my clothes neat. And there is a new extreme sport. It's called extreme ironing. And that does not mean pumping iron. That means people iron clothes
ironing
in extreme places. So picture on mountains, underwater, for example, while skydiving. So you have to come up with a way to.
How do you iron underwater?
I assume you used an old school sort of anvil kind of iron. I don't know.
I got you.
Why would you iron underwater?
Because it's an extreme sport.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know that it comes up. I mean, I guess if you're a mermaid, you need your clothes to look good, too.
I guess so.
Right, at least the top half. Probably not a lot of pants.
Do mermaids wear tops, or are they?
I don't know. There's an old joke. It's not my joke, but I will share it with you. Why does the Little Mermaid wear seashells for a top?
Say why, Pat.
You know, Pat?
Why?
Oh, why? I got you. Because the B shells are too small and the D shells are too big.
Too big, yeah. Wow. And we were just, Pat and I just had a real serious subject, kind of about sports and different sexes.
Right.
Riley Gaines and Simone Biles, and you came in with that.
Yeah,
and you
absolutely.
It's
just a joke.
Pig. You're just a
I like
pig.
I like that one.
Back to the bra bar.
I like that one.
I like the idea. I think it. I mean, obviously, you got women's hockey. God bless you, man.
Yeah, bless you, man.
You got women's hockey's coming online now. In fact, I was interviewing for a law job today. A woman whose sister, her little sister, is 10. They live in New York, and her little sister is like a female hockey protege.
And you were doing what with these people?
I was interviewing a woman for a job. and she was talking about her family, and her sister plays hockey at age 10.
Hey, you throw anybody in jail today?
Did not.
No, okay.
It's only 4:30.
It is early, Pat. You haven't thrown anybody in jail yet. Hey, we were talking extreme
well,
sports.
Well, it's interesting. You know, to your point, Mike. I'm surprised.
That's how a radio show works. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Right. No, think about it. In Canada, like they are nuts about hockey.
Yep.
How has there not been more?
Yep.
Like, hey, my favorite hockey fan of all time. You guys remember the Edmonton Oilers lady from last year?
No.
No, me neither. And apparently you don't either because you're calling
Let
her
me
the
just say
Edmonton
this:
Oilers
she didn't have
lady.
on any shells.
Oh.
She had no shells, and that made her famous.
Was she topless while she was skating?
No, she had her big hockey, that big hockey jersey on. And like everyone's going crazy, and she just decided to show everyone that she had no shells on.
Where is this show going?
I don't know,
Man,
but
I'm a sweet boy. I can't really be talking about all this stuff, man.
No, but the
quality. Hey, come on, guys.
The quality of women's sports has gotten a lot better, and
sure.
And be honest, it's always been good, but I think because whatever marketplace is what it is, people haven't paid attention.
That's serious Mike Freed today.
Why do you?
Hi, serious Mike Freed.
Really
How are you doing?
Why do you think? Why is it that that Caitlin Clark has been able to put women's basketball on the map the way she has? Because is she that much better than everybody else?
I think yes.
Really?
I think she's really good.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, in college, she proved it, Mike. I mean, she scored the most points ever.
Yeah.
But caveat: she had an extra year.
Right.
Pistol Pete did it in 3.
Yeah.
But I mean, women's basketball was
really
a punchline. And in fact, there's one that in stand-up comedy is used all the time. There are all kinds of jokes about attendance at women's basketball games. And so in a year, it seems, or however, it wasn't her whole career, all of a sudden is she that much better that she single-handedly puts the whole game, the whole sport on her shoulders?
And I think part of it is what she's really good at. She's good at the game of basketball.
Yeah.
She's really good, a really deadly outside shooter.
Right.
And Steph Curry has taken, now he's toward the twilight of his career, but Steph Curry took the three-point shot to the most, he makes incredible shots. And she's kind of the Steph Curry. I mean, she's got 22, 23-foot range. I mean, they're lying.
You see that her new commercial? Her commercial where she's doing everything from the logo?
Yes. State Farm.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. Speaking of women's basketball, today I got on the notes, this was a story, Fox Sports, Austin Perry, I think his name is. He works for Outkick. And Outkick, that site Outkick.
Yes.
Who's the guy? Clay Travis. That's his site.
Okay.
Outkick. And
I didn't know it was his.
He's kind of moved political. He's a sports guy, but moved political. Outkick has had a big battle with the WNBA. They're pretty critical of the WNBA.
Yeah.
And they don't get credentials. It's really a mess. But today, he had an article. Outkick had an article saying about Caitlin Clark. She's out with injury. She'll be back in had a quad for a couple weeks. Hadn't played in a couple 3 weeks. And her team played the Angel Reese team over the weekend. Pat, you probably know that. And Caitlin Clark's not playing. Those tickets went for $3.
Wow.
And the crux of the story is the WNBA, a lot of the players treat Caitlin Clark, they're angry that she's getting all the publicity.
Right.
There's a lot of cheap shots and stuff. And
See that.
And the story is like, well, this is your golden goose.
Yeah.
Why are you I mean, and it goes on to say, right now, a lot of people will say the WNBA has never been more popular. It's set to lose $50 million. That's how popular it is. Yeah. But
it's still set to lose $50 million?
According to the Outkick article.
Dang, yeah. I thought it would have improved a little bit. I knew it was always in the negative.
I think it used to lose $75 million.
Well, that isn't. I mean, that isn't. I mean, I would test that against the bias that particular news source has, but it could be the way they structured the league. Could be the debt that they came in with. So. I'd be surprised.
Ladies and gentlemen, serious Mike Freed.
It's only been around for about 26, 27 years. Yeah, so you got to give it a little bit of a.
It's terrible.
How different is?
But look.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say. I mean, but look, the NBA when they went more individual instead of team and highlighted Magic and Larry, the NBA took off. So I just wish that Angel Reese was a little bit more likable.
Yeah. That's just where I was going to go. Is that I was thinking Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Because he was the league in many ways. You're right. It was overlapping in the periods of Magic and Larry.
I was going to go where he went as well. And I don't follow the WNBA much, but one issue I've got with it, every time I watch or hear something about it, it's angry.
Yeah.
We've got enough anger in the world.
Yeah.
We've got enough anger in our political world and in our day-to-day lives. Every time there's a girl pushing a girl and a girl arguing with a player, and too much anger in that WNBA.
Is it anger or is it just underdog?
I don't know. Hey, let's get back to we were talking extreme sport a moment ago.
Yes.
I guess extreme ironing.
Extreme ironing, of course. Everyone knows that.
There's this extreme, and I guess if it's the first time you've done it, I guess it can't be an extreme sport.
Yeah.
But an activity that's going on, it just kicked off in May. A guy named Kyle Parker. And I think, you remember Lewis and Clark. Everybody knows those guys. Lewis and Clark.
Yeah, they helped chart
They went
the
from
New World.
the east to the west, right?
Yeah, that's right, and through the U.S.
I think they're asking this guy, Lewis and Clark are asking this guy, Kyle Parker, hey, man, hold my beer. So this guy, Kyle Parker, he set off, he's calling it tip to tip. Don't get dirty, guys.
Right.
Okay?
No, I wouldn't even think of that.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, you were.
Wow.
What he's going to do is going to start in the northwest most part of the contiguous United States, Puget Sound. And he wants to canoe as he can. You know, he can't canoe.
Right,
There's not
right.
one. As many going all the way to the southernmost point of the contiguous United States.
Wow.
Is it contiguous? Is that the word?
Yeah, it's non-Alaska and Hawaii.
Contiguous. Is that the word, contiguous?
Contiguous, it touches.
To Miami Beach.
Right.
So, I mean, my man's like, Lewis and Clark are like, we did this. So he's got a support car and somebody going with him. And he says, obviously, his issues are, canoeing, wild animals.
Yeah.
What about Indians? Lewis and Clark had Indians also.
Yeah, you can't.
We got to hire some Indians, right? We got to hire some Indians to follow this guy around.
Real Native Americans.
What is he doing this for? Is he like trying to raise awareness?
Yes,
or
he thinks it'll take 7 or 8 months. And yeah, there was something in there. But he says 7 or 8 months. But I mean, Lewis and Clark didn't have any helpers.
They did not. Well, Pocahontas. Was
Pocahontas a little bit, but
hey,
they
Lewis
didn't know
and Clark
to hire.
still believed in bloodletting.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, they stumbled on Pocahontas. They didn't get her, from the beginning. She wasn't part of the team.
She was like a GPS they found.
Yeah, they found an Indian GPS.
Yes. I think that's cool. I know a guy. We could probably get him on the show. He ran from Los Angeles to New York in 77 days. This is a guy. He used to coach cross country at St. John's Country Day.
Well, really?
Yeah.
What was the story, Pat? We had a guy ran.
He ran a marathon
he did 100 marathons in 100 days.
Now, I've done 6 in 6 days, right?
No.
I did 6 in 6 days, 7 years
you
in
did
a row.
6 in 6 days?
I did, from Tallahassee to Jacksonville.
Or this guy, this guy did a marathon. How many continents do we have? 7?
Oh, goodness, you can ask me
7?
that?
He did 7.
Remember, I'm the funny guy.
He did 7 marathons on each continent in that many days.
Well, that's true. There is one. In fact, it came up in my feed recently, and I was so tempted to, other than not being able to afford it. You can do 7 marathons on 7 continents in 7 days. All it takes is training.
That Australia's gonna be hard, isn't it?
How about Antarctica?
That's gonna be rough.
But it's
Antarctica, Pat's gonna be rough too. Getting there and
it's 50. Well, they charter a plane, so it's $50,000 each person pays.
Yeah.
And then presumably they take you in pretty good comfort. Get you massages, because that's the challenge for me. When I did 6 in 6 days, at least after I ran the first one, the second one, the third one, I could get horizontal really quickly.
I've done 2 marathons in 60 years.
Yeah, that's something.
I did 2.
That's something. That takes some recovery.
Yeah, I did 2.
At least 30 years or something.
Yeah, I'm on a 30-year plan.
I'm
going to catch my 3rd one at 90.
Patrick's killing my ears.
Pat's doing one right now, it sounds like.
Yeah, you're doing a marathon.
He's moving around in there.
Leave me alone.
Yeah, exactly. Mike, you weren't with us last week. We had the old junior high school urination in the visiting team's water bucket.
Oh, who hasn't had that?
I mean
wait, what?
You didn't hear about that, Pat?
No.
You know how I think it was junior. It was either junior high or high school baseball. Can't remember what state, but
I believe it was the Wizards. Was that their name of the team?
The Wizards. Well, a lot of times in high school and junior high, little Steve is charged with dragging the field, and little Johnny. On home games, you got to put our water.
That's dangerous.
And their water. So somehow, I think one of the coaches for the visiting team said, "Hey man," to the other coach, the home team coach, "Hey man, thanks man. That lemon lime Gatorade was awesome." And the coach said something like, "Oh no, we just put water."
Yeah.
Joey, get over here!
I know.
He got found out. He urinated in the other team's water bucket.
I think you embellished the story because urination may cause it to look like lemon lime Gatorade. It wouldn't cause it to taste like it.
No, it didn't taste like it at all.
I was watching.
So there's no way. That's not what the coach said. Hey, this tastes good.
No, I think
I
it was
might have added that part.
That was a Terry embellishment.
That was a liberty, taking liberty.
I was watching, apropos of what you just said, the Equalizer, one of the Equalizers the other day, and there's this little old man who's talking to Denzel Washington, and he's always giving him little tips, and he says, "Always be kind to anyone who has access to your toothbrush."
I agree with that, and Seinfeld agrees with that.
Is that a Seinfeld?
Yeah.
Well, it goes back to the water. How could you let a bunch of juveniles, little kids, be in charge of the water supply for another team?
Pat, do you remember that Seinfeld episode? Jerry's dating the
I
pretty
don't,
girl, and they break up.
I don't. But now I'm thinking about people that have access to my toothbrush. That's kind of just where my mind
you're
went.
Right. Jerry breaks up with the girl, and she's upset. And the crux of it, she leaving his apartment, getting her stuff. We're broken up, and she makes a crack about the toothbrush.
Yeah.
And of course, as neurotic as Jerry was, no, that's not going to get it. Were you guys around? Pat, you may have been. Mike, you haven't heard this, and this is dead serious. It's going to happen in 2026 out in Las Vegas.
Next year.
The enhanced games.
Oh yeah. Have you not talked about that yet? Yeah, that's
that's
fast.
I don't remember.
Have you heard it? Real quick summation for people that haven't. We talked about it once, real quick. It's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Did we talk about it?
I don't. I've talked about it. I don't know if we've talked about it together.
But big money's behind this. I mean, multiple billionaires, including the PayPal guy, Peter Thiel, I think.
Sure.
So there's real money. This is going to happen. The crux of this is not illegal by the law drugs, but anything. I don't care if the NFL bans it, MLB, if any drug that's legal but not sports legal.
Right.
You're not only you're encouraged to use it. They want to see
the records.
They want to, and they say, we want to test humanity.
Right.
And if you want to try it. So what they're doing, Patrick and Mike, is they're going to have the Olympic sports.
Right.
Right? Track and field.
Swimming, all that stuff.
Track and field, 100-yard dash, pole vault, all this stuff. So they know that if you enter, you're probably killing the rest of your career in mainstream.
Oh, yeah.
So it's got to be good money.
Oh, you can't get clean and then compete back.
Right. Good luck trying to go do the regular Olympics if you did this, okay?
Yeah,
so
good luck trying to go backwards.
They understand this, and they've got a lot of money. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Anyone, if you win gold in your sport, in your event, it's $250,000.
Yeah, so real money.
If you break a world record, any world record, $1 million bonus.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's nice going out of
now,
business
of course, this is going to get televised and hopped up on every kind of thing you can think.
Right.
Somebody may run 100 meters and their head may explode right there on TV, but it's good TV.
It'll be marginally better. I mean, the one thing I wonder is you said legal, so what is the status of steroids? Are they legal?
I think if you could get them from a doctor or somewhere, I think there are some steroids that are illegal probably. But anything, they're not saying do drugs that would get you thrown in prison.
Right.
But they're saying
those wouldn't help you.
They're saying do anything.
Right.
They're saying do anything that might be banned in any sport.
Yeah.
But you're actually encouraged. They want to test the boundaries of humanity.
Yeah. It's all about record setting, and you think about it. I mean, most of those things that you're talking about are. I mean, I understand you want to level the playing field, but you could level the playing field by saying everybody can do it. Right?
Sure.
And it's kind of arbitrary to say.
Well, this concept has been kicked around before. Why not have an Olympics where everything goes?
Right.
And see who gets more viewers?
Yeah. Well, it'll certainly be more entertaining, I assume, but also...
You would think these guys would, and gals, would outperform.
Yeah, they should.
Right?
I mean,
now, the life expectancy
do we have
may
a
be about
list of
32.
athletes that have already entered their names?
There was a name or two, nobody I recognized, but there was one or two that are very accomplished.
Yeah.
And one guy that was quoted, I can't remember the sport, it was a track and field sport. One guy referenced, he goes, I'm all in here. This is probably the number one chance I've got to hit big money in my lifetime.
You have
he
to
said,
figure,
I'm in, man.
How have they not hired Lance Armstrong to be like their spokesman?
Yeah. And Lance probably won't do it. He's probably about 50 now.
No, but he just raced recently.
Yeah.
Didn't he go out and
I didn't see
he
that.
did something recently? He could
He
still
did?
move.
I didn't see that.
I mean, I don't know if it was like a huge thing, but I saw he was out on a
That's
bicycle.
a good example. What Lance Armstrong took, I think, was against the cycling rules of but not against the law.
I think it was organic, wasn't it? His own blood, just plasma.
It was his own blood or
Yeah.
something like that he injected himself with that gave
And what
him
do they say? Is that
a
centrifuge
capacity.
or something?
Yeah.
They spin it and
They
get all the.
oxygenate it.
It was something that gave him a capacity to just go longer, faster.
By the way,
stronger.
word of the day, centrifuge. I just pulled that
that
out.
was really
And
good.
contiguous. JU, showing off again. Contiguous and centrifuge.
Bonus
Spell it.
points. If you had
Spell
two
it. Spell-
centrifuges
spell-
and they
spell
were
conti-
they were next to each other, what would they be?
Wait a minute, Pat. What were you saying? What were you saying?
No. Mike had a good. He had a good one.
No,
He had a
you
better
said
one.
spell. I couldn't. You said.
He wanted you to.
No, Pat, we can't hear you. Sorry.
Yeah. He's
I
just
blew it.
avoiding you, Patrick.
Spelling's overrated. Chat GPT. How do you spell?
You think they could have an enhanced spelling bee?
I think we should have a sports spelling bee.
Now, an enhanced spelling
Sports
bee, you
names?
could definitely use cocaine.
Mike Krzyzewski. Spell it.
I don't even know what letter it starts
They
with.
just had the spelling bee like 2 weeks ago, and I was kidding around as a topic. I said, what are some of the words and names that would be like Giannis? His last name. Spell it. I couldn't do it.
No,
Oh my gosh.
I don't think Krzyzewski knows how to spell Krzyzewski.
I literally don't know what letter it starts
Goodness
with.
gracious.
Is it a K? Well, Coach K.
Coach K.
It must be a K.
Coach K. They spot you the K.
They do kind of spot. Well, they had to. They had to give him a nickname.
Patrick, they spot you.
I know there's a SKI at the end.
Yeah, or
There's an
SKY.
SKI there.
Could be a Y.
Giannis.
Dang it, is it Y?
Anticoputupupo.
Do not know. I don't even know Norvelle. Or Norvelle.
Norvelle.
Norville Redenbacher.
Novelli.
Was it something else
Norville.
at some point?
Novelli, the Italians from a Novelli.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's the thing about the enhanced games. Like, it's only for people like at Patrick's level to get slightly to the next level. It's not going to make me a center in the NBA, right? It's not going to.
I don't know how much it. Yeah, I don't know how much it would help me with basketball skills
I'd watch
and whatnot. It would help in football. Steroids would help. It would definitely help in football.
Tonight, 7 o'clock ESPN, the first ever broadcast of the enhanced games. The 100-yard, they've advertised the 100-meter dash is going to be on. The javelin. What if they throw it out of the stadium and hits a guy?
Yeah.
You can't tell me you guys would. I'll watch to see if it's legit or not.
Yeah, I don't think
I'll watch. I'm going to watch for sure.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be marginally, because again, everyone, what would be interesting games is where you have half the people enhanced and half
really
not.
good.
Or even just one guy enhanced and see him
Or,
go away
it'd
the
be
field.
good if like 400 meters, right? So one lap around.
Yeah, and it's
Send half of them to the right and half of them to the left. That'd be great. That'd be great.
What?
George Carlin used to say, what we really need is college auto racing.
George Carlin was so far.
Oh
ahead
my
of his
gosh!
time.
Could you imagine?
He was, but no, wouldn't that
That'd
be
be
fun? Oh hell, do it at Daytona. Send half the field that way
Yeah.
and half the field
So
that way.
you're basically just playing chicken.
Ew.
Oh, they would pass each other?
Yeah.
No, you got to stay in your lane.
Yeah.
You gotta
Speaking of,
Yes.
did you see the hurdler?
But there's only been one?
One from last week. Only. Ben, do we have that?
Oh yeah. I
Ben,
saw
do you
that.
have anything in there, Ben?
Oh, the guy who started in not an upright position? That one?
No.
Oh.
Ben, do we have it?
No.
Just-
Or in
Pat,
an
you've
upright.
seen this, right? We don't have it.
I've seen it. I know what you're talking about.
Anyway, I'll describe it.
Yeah.
Ben, I thought we had these.
Sure.
So, high school 110-meter hurdles, and these are good, girl. I mean, they take off. Boom, 10 hurdles.
Yep.
Girls,
boom, boom, boom.
Girls went.
Oh,
We got it?
We can hear it.
Yeah, we hear it. So, anyway, girl takes off. Boom, gun goes off. It's like the state championship.
Yes.
110-meter high hurdles, low hurdles.
This
hurdles.
time of year it must be.
So, boom, there you go. And this girl's pulling away.
How was she doing it again? Oh, okay.
That's her feet.
All right.
So
She was moving, man.
She's moving. She pulls away,
Yes.
and she's got a good 10-meter head start lead, 10 yards probably.
Yes.
And she clips the very last hurdle.
Yes.
She absolutely perfectly somersaults,
Wow.
not once, but twice.
Get out of here.
Still finishes ahead, wins the race.
Wow.
But Mike Freed,
DQ?
but she didn't go out of her lane because you would have got DQ'd.
Okay.
And
she loses a point for touching. You don't even lose points for touching.
I don't think so.
It just slows you down.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It was great.
And why did she do two? That's just where her momentum took her?
Yeah, it was all natural.
Her momentum took her, yeah.
Boom, and she just tuck, boom.
Let me ask you, Patrick, when you were at the peak of your playing, was there ever a moment where you were like, well, I'm not going to play in the NBA, but I could maybe get on the Harlem Globetrotters?
Oh, that's a great question.
No, I didn't think about that. No. Because that...
Maybe you could still do it.
Mind, but like,
they don't have...
growing up...
They could use you.
You're right. Growing up, you guys remember Ann 1?
Yeah.
Was she the first female on the Harlem Globetrotters?
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember Ann 1, yeah.
Oh, I was just
guessing. But I remember that. Yeah, I participated. They had like an Ann 1 3-on-3 tournament, and it was pretty big time. And I thought, actually they had an event at ViStar when it was at its peak. Because they had it was a white kid called the Professor. He was so
I remember
good.
him from TV.
But it's all like gimmicky stuff, like the Savannah Bananas and the Harlem Globetrotters, that kind of stuff?
It's more, it wants to be more street ball, right?
Okay.
Just at your local park.
Street ball.
Yeah, but that guy was famous, the Professor. He could handle the rock, couldn't he?
Oh, yeah, those are good.
He could.
Yeah.
And
I just thought about this. In talking about enhanced games, there's already a sport that does that, which is bodybuilding.
Yeah, good point.
Not legally, though.
I think they have some. They have some.
Are they allowed
all
to?
Things go.
You see, I didn't know when I was competing. I did.
I'm trying to think of the first female Globetrotter. I think it was Ann. She was married to Don Drysdale.
I could picture her.
She played at Old Dominion.
Now there's a
and
couple.
Then Lynette Woodard a little bit later.
Wow, you can name two female. You can name two Harlem Globetrotters that are not
Mike,
Curly
I'm a
and
professional
Lemon.
at this. Okay,
You are.
I'm a professional.
Somewhat, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Who was it? Ann Donovan? Maybe?
I can't believe it.
Who's going to validate that for you? Yes,
Look it up.
Ann Donovan. It was definitely her.
Chat GPT, help us out.
And ask them first woman to play for the Harlem Globetrotters. And I think she's married.
He's not going to look.
Yeah, he is. He loves ChatGPT.
He's mocking
He told me about ChatGPT. The best thing Patrick Young has
It's
ever
the best.
done for me,
Right.
ever.
Yeah.
Pat, that was in my eyes the greatest thing you've ever done in your life was tell me about ChatGPT.
You know,
that was incredible, Pat.
Since this is Pride Month, I want to talk about Chat LGBT.
Oh, good call, dude.
Yeah.
Got to be fair.
Yeah, definitely.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Very nice. Ben, can you put in first woman to play for the Harlem Globetrotters?
They are fun. But how about this,
quick.
Patrick? If you couldn't play for the Harlem Globetrotters, would you play for the what are they? The Generals or the Colonels? The team that always loses to them every night?
Yeah.
Like
I think they're in New Jersey.
I mean, it's a fake team.
No.
I mean, they're a real team, but their job is to lose every single
They're
night.
good at it.
They've never won, have they?
Yeah, they've won a couple times.
It was a fix.
They have?
Nope, they've actually won a few times. Straight up.
Is that against their contract?
Did y'all go? When I was a kid, I used to love going down to the Coliseum. I went probably 3 or 4 times to see the real Globetrotters.
Oh, they're amazing.
Curly
I saw
Neal,
them at the Capitol Center in
Metal
DC.
Arc Lemon.
Yeah, they were amazing. They'd come into the audience.
Metal Arc Lemon.
Confetti bucket.
Metal Arc was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And then Curly was the dribbler.
He was the bald guy.
Yeah,
the handsome
could
bald
dribble.
guy.
And then, dude, here's how big the Globetrotters. They made it on
Cartoon.
the cartoon. They had a cartoon on Saturday morning.
And sometimes
That's
they
right.
combined
They sure
their,
did, man.
Their cartoon with the Jackson 5's cartoon. They'd like hang out together.
You remember that? Dumb
Yeah.
Donald and all those guys?
Yeah.
Was that Dumb Donald and those guys?
I think that was
Cos-
Fat Albert.
Oh, that was Fat Albert's gang.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
Fat
gang-
Albert.
Hey,
Are you
Fat
racially
Albert,
profiling cartoons?
hey, you didn't want to run into that Fat Albert gang at night if you owed them some candy or something?
Yeah, I would say this about Fat Albert. He was a good fat cartoon. It used to bother me that the Flintstones would say that Fred was fat.
Nah, Fred was.
He's not fat, but they call him Fat Freddy.
Yeah, stocky.
But I was like, if you put Fat Albert next to Fred Flintstone, there'd be no doubt who's the fat one.
Remember Dumb Donald? And he had the hair, and he had the eyes cut out of his hair?
I don't mean to stay on this, but this has always bothered me.
Oh,
and
you
then
never-
Barney would call Fred fat, but they were the
Yes.
same size.
Yeah.
I mean, Barney was shorter.
I'll tell you one thing, Fred could get that car moving, though.
Yeah, with his feet.
Yeah.
With his
Oh, yeah. Those
3
feet can
toes.
move, couldn't they?
He'd pick that car. That was his idle. He'd get idle and get the RPMs up. He was getting the RPMs up.
He was. He'd have
And
to
then-
get going. Yeah.
And-
Zoop.
Remember, he worked at the quarry.
Yeah, with Barney and Mr. Slate.
Mr.
Good
Slate.
show. That's a good
And,
show.
Y'all got some pretty good memories.
Hey, I would roll right into the Jetsons after that, my man.
Yeah, they were pretty much the same people, just one group in outer space.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good show.
Fat Albert had the big bat, the Fat Albert plastic bat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which was cheating. Remember the Yankees had that bat earlier this year. They had that Fat Albert bat.
Did they?
Remember that controversy about the bat, the torpedo
black
bat? You hadn't heard anything about that anymore.
Oh, they got rid of it.
1 week. No, they didn't get rid of it. It fit. It conformed.
Oh, did it? I thought they.
I think didn't they, Pat? That torpedo bat didn't get knocked out of the league. It conformed.
Yeah, because Ellie De Cruz.
Yeah.
First time he used it, he hit 2 home runs in the game, I think.
Yeah. So take that. How about this bummer?
It's not really like a controversial thing at all.
How about this? A lot of good sports over the weekend. There was a real downer over the weekend.
What was the downer? I mean,
came from the world of horse racing.
Oh no! Did they have to put one of their athletes down?
No, they didn't have to shoot a horse. They just shot a jock. No. Sovereignty won the Belmont.
Yes.
Sovereignty won the Kentucky Derby, but remember, Sovereignty, his owners, they didn't run in the Preakness in the middle.
Well.
Right.
So, I mean, come on.
He's batting 1,000.
Come on.
Yeah, but maybe he wouldn't have won the one on the other side. The owners were smart enough to know that.
That's the theory.
Yeah.
And Pat, you and I talked about this. Being serious for a minute, he won the Kentucky Derby. The Preakness is second, and the Belmont's third. They just ran the Belmont.
Right.
So.
And they're all real close together,
They're
right?
like 2 weeks apart. Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. So it was announced almost the day after.
Yeah.
Their handlers for the Sovereignty, I think that was the name, said, no, we're not running the Preakness. Mm-hmm. And the only thing I could think of, each course is different, and each distance is different.
And so they got to get from one to the other.
Yeah, but it tests you, which is good.
Yeah, different surfaces.
And different lengths.
Yeah.
My only guess is if you've won the Kentucky Derby,
right?
And being serious here,
you may as well go for the three-peat.
Well, not necessarily. If you don't like the setup, I mean, your horse may not be that distance, may not be kind to your horse.
And it could wear them down for the one that they could win.
Well, or if you let me finish.
No, I just want to keep guessing. Is it bigger than a bread box?
Yes.
2 words.
Yes.
Starts with a P.
Right.
Is it a movie?
Right.
Isn't this good radio when I just interrupt you incessantly? I thought that's the way we're supposed to do it.
Hey, why don't you come back and do this again on the 5th of Never? Okay? So anyway.
Would you like to answer?
The theory is maybe they didn't like his chances, so why not just be called a Kentucky Derby winner and not from a studying standpoint? Mm-hmm. And then they like the chance. But wouldn't you have loved to seen the son of a gun try to win the Triple Crown? For God's sakes.
Of course. Do you think, Pat? But is there any reason that do they retire these horses like right away? Like, why could this horse not compete next year?
There's an age thing for horses, like they're 3 and under.
Yeah, I don't know if they come back. I
got you.
I think the real money is in studying. So once you can get credentials, wouldn't that be cool if you play a year in the NBA, you win the All-Star game, and you're like, I'm just gonna go stud now.
Yeah, Wilt Chamberlain.
But he kept playing.
I'm just gonna go stud.
He was special.
Yeah, it was his pasture. Yeah.
Yeah. What else you got?
I didn't even have anything to this point.
Yeah, you were great.
Oh, thank you.
Wasn't he great, Pat?
I still want to. I want to just come on and interview Patrick sometime. I want to know more about
go ahead.
His career. Have you played at all since you've been out of European play? Since your life circumstances changed, do you play at all in your career?
No, I was kind of when I decided I was done with basketball. I was done with basketball.
Nice.
So you were done because you were already done.
Yeah, I was already done, and I remember playing pickup one day. And I could still be out there because of my size. And if anything, defensively, I could protect the rim. But that was a flaw because we ended up winning 7 games in a row.
Yeah.
And my body felt like death.
Really? It went that quick?
So
just because you weren't
you
weren't training. Yeah, I guess that's right. That's the thing. It's like that's your identity forever.
Yep.
I've never had anything. I will at some point. That was my identity forever.
Yeah.
And then they're like, you can't do that anymore.
I played so much baseball. I wasn't at his level. I played through Division I. And Pat, we talked about it on the show. I can still, I was just talking to Ben about it somehow this morning or this afternoon. I can still remember my last game at JU.
And you knew it was your last time.
Yeah, and I wasn't going to get drafted. I was small. I was 150 pounds back then.
Right.
Good college player, but I wasn't going to get drafted.
Right.
And you kind of know if you're going to.
Right.
We played our final game, Sun Belt Conference. We were the Sun Belt. Sun Belt Conference baseball tournament. We played in VCU. If we won, we would have gone to regionals. And VCU won and got sent to. We'd have gone to Tallahassee.
Yeah.
But our tournament was at Western Kentucky. And I can vividly remember game's over, season's over, and my career's over.
Yeah.
And we shower up, get on the bus for a 9-hour drive back to Jacksonville. And it was weird on that bus. Okay, baseball's been so much. Now what?
Yeah.
and I never, kind of like Pat maybe, I never wanted to then be Mr. Softball guy or whatever. Nope.
Right.
I didn't want to be Mr. City League because there's City Leagues too. You can play in your 30s and 40s. And I had no interest in
It was
that.
just over.
Continue your Patrick interview while we still have him.
Well,
Any other?
No, I think he's there.
Bring it on. What else you got?
Yeah, BYO.
Do you know any guys that played in any of the novelty, like Harlem Globetrotters type things?
Good question.
I don't know why I'm fascinated by that.
I know Jimmer Fredette. Jimmer Fredette.
I remember him from BYU.
3-on-3 basketball for a while.
Uh-oh, we lost him.
And actually, Canyon Barry. You remember that name?
I remember
Canyon Barry?
Rick Barry's son played at Florida for a year or two.
Son of Brent Barry. He went on and he played in the Olympics or represented the USA team for a 3-on-3. But other than that, no. I mean, a lot of guys that I know, they're either part of a college team or part of an NBA team in their development stuff.
Very interesting. Well, maybe we need to start a league sometime. Maybe.
Mike, basketball is kind of your thing, no? You like basketball?
I in my mind, I'm really good at a
why
lot
don't we,
of things.
Pat? Why don't you and I pay? We'll split the cost. We're going to send you to Coach Martin's basketball camps.
I hustle.
Yeah.
I've been training my whole life to be the best athlete in the senior citizen home.
Right.
I think I got a chance. I remember once. You remember?
You're going to dominate the villages. You know that. You're going to dominate over there.
I could. My knees are good.
Yeah.
I remember there was this guy. You remember Keith Showers, who was a
from JU.
From JU.
Rebolt.
Maybe he was there when I got there.
I remember Keith Showers.
He was just about always suspended for some reason.
Yeah, right
or
on the edge. Keith on the edge. Showers. Yeah.
But he was, let's just say he was an average, mediocre school NCAA Division I player. He and I were walking back from a class one day, and I was like, I would like to take a shot on an NCAA Division I player just to see, is it that different? We were walking through the valley there.
You mean like punch him?
No, I would like to shoot a basket on him. I would have had a better chance punching him.
I remember Keith Showers. Yeah, I think he went to Reball.
And he looked like he was, let's just say he was distracted, wasn't even paying attention to me making the bet, let alone getting ready to take a shot. And I take a shot, and out of nowhere, I mean, he just blocked it. We didn't even go get the ball. It went so far. Yeah. Like, the difference in speed between, that quality of athlete, like you guys both were, and the rest of us, that just imagine we could do any one thing, like just get up at bat or just throw a ball at that level. It's crazy difference.
Hey, speaking of the arena today, they have a basketball court. It's all broken up, and but they're getting a new one. So Pat, you want to buy a basketball court? What would a basketball court cost?
No, thanks.
No,
he's done. He's already said he retired.
Put it in your backyard. That'd be cool. Your whole backyard's basketball.
Don't want to taunt himself.
The one the Gators played on. They opened up the season here.
Yeah.
They played South. Remember that? Played South.
How are we protecting it from the elements?
I don't know. It's got a varnish on it.
It's inside, is it not?
Oh,
you mean if you put it?
Put it in your backyard. How cool would that be?
If someone's rich enough, I mean, it would be cool to kind of take part of that court and put it in. Like if you had a little extra part of your house where you could make a little indoor gym.
Sounds like a great silent auction item for a good fundraiser.
But couldn't you spray it with some really good varnish kind of stuff to really protect it? Put it in your backyard, next to your chipping and putting green.
Yeah.
Next to your pool.
Or just keep it outside till it lasts.
Next to your garden.
Could do that.
Yeah, to hell with mowing your backyard anymore.
Let's call up Artis. I bet you Artis would like it.
Gosh, Artis needs to buy it.
He should.
Well, they should just give it to Artis.
They should give a lot of things to Artis.
You think? Pat, you've met Artis before, haven't you?
Yeah.
Gilmore. Yep.
Yeah. Great
dude. Yep. He does all the JU games. I was doing JU games earlier this year, so.
By a show of hands, who's ready to end this segment?
Everyone who's listening.
Anybody?
I'm pretty sure. I'm ready because you need some air conditioner in here. Can we get air conditioner next time?
It's these lights.
Oh, all right.
We need it to try to get the Wi-Fi password. I've never been able to get the Wi-Fi password.
I'm on it. I'm on it. My laptop when I'm in studio here.
See, Terry doesn't want to share it with me. I don't know why.
They're on a budget here at the network.
Big star here. I got it.
Yeah, it's in your contract. It's in your rider.
Yeah. So you really want me to end the segment?
I am here for the duration.
Do you have anything else to add?
I have nothing to add. I will be in Oregon next week is what I have to add.
Oregon?
Oregon.
What are you going there for? Put somebody in jail?
My oldest child is graduating from engineering school with the fighting ducks. The duck.
Oh.
The Oregon Ducks.
Aflac. See, that's great. Pat, that's pretty good, isn't it? Aflac.
Wow, that's good. He does his own. He does his
Aflac.
own sound effects.
But he's not the. What? Shouldn't Aflac be a major sponsor of the Oregon Ducks?
You would think they would be.
How did your oldest find
That's obvious.
their way to Oregon, for God's sake?
That's just sort of the lifestyle she lives, and Oregon called her.
Nice.
So that's it.
All right,
so
Pat.
far.
He's about done with us. So,
Yes, sir.
All right, Pat. We got
Good for her, man.
Brent Beard
Congratulations.
coming up. Stick around if you can, Pat. If not, we got Brent Beard about 5:30. Mike Freed is out of here. Good stuff. We'll see you in a couple weeks, right?
Yep. Take
All
care.
right, buddy. That is Mike Freed, our resident
Take care,
comedian.
man.
As we just took it out of bounds. Back after this quick timeout.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
Are you about to graduate high school and haven't decided on what you want to do when you get done? Well, one option is to apply to become a student in the Electrical Training Alliance of Jacksonville. Their program offers structured classroom and online training along with on-the-job training so that you can earn while you learn. Still not convinced? The folks at ETA Jax are a tuition-free 4-year apprenticeship program. There is no tuition and no student debt. Just pay for your books and your fees. That's it. Now, speaking of pay, students, they start off making $40,000 per year, including benefits, and they graduate, get this, making over $80,000 per year, including those sought-after benefits. Now, that sounds pretty good to me, and if that sounds good to you, it should check off a lot of boxes. So head on over to etajax.org and apply by May 15th. Again, the website right here, etajax.org. Don't wait, apply today.
The rhythm of my heart is beating like a drum, with We Are Martyr rolling off our tongues. Never will we roam, for we know our place is out. Where the ocean meets the skies, we be sailing. Where the ocean meets the skies, we be sailing.
It is a Monday edition, busy weekend we just came out of. It's a fun time of year. I know people say, man, it's kind of the dog days of summer. Football's still a couple months away. A lot of stuff overlapping. Great college softball just wrapped up. with Texas winning the national championship. College baseball, the Super Regionals, 7 of the 8 are completed tonight. We will have the 8th team qualifying for the Baseball College World Series. You've got Murray State at Duke. Murray State or Duke will qualify. That winner will play UCLA. Also in the right half of the bracket, LSU will take on Arkansas. I'm not real happy about that. The only 2 SEC teams left have to face each other in the first game, and they're on the same side of the bracket. Your other side, the left side of the College Baseball World Series bracket, Louisville will take on Oregon State in their first game, and then Arizona, a great comeback at Chapel Hill. Arizona will take on Coastal Carolina, kind of depending on Murray State. If Murray State gets in, they'll be the darling of the tournament, really a program that has never got anywhere near there. Coastal Carolina could kind of be considered the darling, but they've won a college baseball national championship back in 2016. So that sets up the College Baseball World Series. Excuse me, things will get started out in Omaha on Friday. Game tonight to finish out the field. With that, I wanted to get some Major League Baseball talk before we bring Brent Beard on at the bottom of the hour and dive into a lot of other sports in and around the world of college sports. Major League Baseball, Braves, another loss. Ben, are you a Braves fan? I can't remember.
I don't watch much baseball.
Not a lot of baseball.
Nope.
I wasn't sure. The Braves, pretty much, I know we're not at the All-Star break. I know it's early. Most of my friends that are Brave fans have written them off, has just said this isn't their season. The Braves currently on a 7-game losing streak. The Braves are 4th in their division, only ahead of the Marlins. The Braves currently are 11.5 games behind the division leader. The Braves are 9.5 behind the 3rd wild card spot. They have basically a terrible bullpen with no closer. Braves, I think, are just about out of it. I hate to be Debbie Downer on that, but just nothing has gone right for the Braves this year. The Mets are really good in their division. The Phillies are really good in their division. And the entire National League is pretty damn strong when it comes to getting one of those 3 wild card spots. I mean, you got the Cubs are going to win their division probably. St. Louis is good in that division. The Dodgers, the Padres, and the Giants are fighting it out in the West, so you got to believe there may be 3 teams that qualify for the playoffs. Some other baseball notes want to get to. I mentioned Jack Caglione. The Gator was called up. Caglione's first 5 games, the former Gator slugger, got called up by the Royals a week or so ago. His first 5 games, he struggled. He was 2 for 21 until yesterday. He had a 4 for 4 day, and that's probably going to get him started now. He's, his average is now in the 240 range, but a 4 for 4 day for Jack Caglione. Interesting. Travel day today. Caglione, his first, 6 games have all been on the road. Tomorrow, Kansas City and Jack Caglione, they go home. They will play in front of the home folks. Caglione will make his Kansas City home debut. And guess who they're playing? The New York Yankees. That'll be one of the big games tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised if that doesn't make its way on to big TV. Caglione at home for the first time in front of the Royal fans, and the Yankees are in town. The other great story I've been tracking, I'm not the only guy, but it's fun to track. I really like Paul Skeens a lot, the flame-throwing right-hander by way of LSU, first pick of the draft a couple of years ago. Skeens has been in the big leagues for a while now. He's with a bad team. He's with a bad franchise. The Pirates are just not very good. Paul Skeens yesterday, and it's now getting comedically sad to talk about what he keeps going through. Here's Paul Skeens' pitching line from yesterday. Skeens goes 7 2/3 innings. So he pitches into the 8th inning. He gives up 2 hits. He allows 1 run. That was an unearned run. He walks 1 batter. He strikes out 7. But he comes out of the game without a lead. So he gets a no decision. The Pirates went on to win 2-1, but they took the lead after Skeens was out. So he got a no decision. Paul Skeens His record this year, 4 wins and 6 losses. His ERA lowered yesterday with no earned runs allowed. He lowered his ERA with a 4-6 record to 1.88. Just ungodly to have that ERA with that record. His last 3 starts ago, he started it with an ERA of 2.15. Crazy good. After that start, it went down to 2.05. Crazy good. After yesterday's outing, 1.88 ERA. We should have talked to the counselor here, Mike Freed, before he left. Ben, there's a saying in baseball when a pitcher is doing his job and he just can't get the rest of the team to score runs, you say, man, that guy needs to sue his own team for lack of support. I mean, this is classic lack of support, and I keep bringing up the name Nolan Ryan. Boy, this reminds me of the great Nolan Ryan when he pitched year after year after year after year for bad baseball teams, and he would pitch his guts out and have just a mediocre record. He'd lose 2-1, 3-2, no decision, 2-1 if they won, no decision, 3-2 if they won. A couple other series that'll start tomorrow, today, to keep an eye on. Dodgers versus San Diego. That's a fun matchup in the NL West. Cubs and the Phillies. 2 really good teams start a series in Philadelphia. Braves are at Milwaukee after getting roughed up on the West Coast by the Giants. Braves at Milwaukee. As I said, boy, the Braves are really just heading the wrong way. They are really heading the wrong way and scuffling. Speaking of baseball, tomorrow we'll have baseball talk. Looking forward to baseball talk. We're going to try and start getting this on a consistent basis. My buddy Cade Kistner, who's the Sports Illustrated publisher, he's a baseball publisher for Sports Illustrated, really knows the game, really connected. We're going to start trying to have Cade on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we call it, or going to call it, you'll never guess what we're going to call it, Ben. We got a baseball guy coming on, knows the game. We're going to call it Baseball Talk. Is that crazy?
That's very original.
Is that nuts?
Yes, it's
freaking nuts, man. I put a lot of work into it. Chat GPT. I hired a couple of consultants, and we grinded, man. We grinded. We did a think tank. That's what we did. Took about 36 hours. We did a think tank. We had a dry erase board, right? And we just started. What do they call it? Spitballing.
Yeah, you just start putting names on the.
Yeah, just started spitballing, and you say, okay, what are we going to start? What are we going to talk about? What's baseball? That's the topic. Is this going to be are you going to show videos, or are you going to more or less just talk? Well, pretty much going to talk about baseball. And I tell you, we filled up a room of whiteboards. We had all kind of stuff. That's what you do when you spitball.
Yeah, like talk baseball.
You've heard that phrase, right?
Yeah,
Spitballing. Yeah. So, man, I got an expert in the game of baseball that's going to come on the show. It's basically a talk show, and baseball's the subject matter. And I tell you, I think it was about hour number 36. One of these guys in the back of the room goes, after we had the board just filled up, Ben, we had ordered breakfast, lunch, and then we were on dinner. And this guy, I didn't even think he was paying attention for 35 hours. 36th hour, he raised his hand, actually. A really nice, polite guy. He said, it just hit me. Why don't we call it Baseball Talk with Cade Kistner? And he threw that part in. We let him get the first slice of pizza then.
Oh, yeah.
Did his job. So Baseball Talk should come up starting tomorrow. We don't talk a lot of golf. Isn't the U.S. Open golf tournament this week?
I believe so. I just got a notification.
You did what?
I just got a notification talking about betting odds.
Oakmont, right? And guess who the favorite is? Scotty Scheffler.
Yep. Yeah, that's the notification I got.
But it's coming up this week, right? This Thursday. Golf is just crying out right now. If Major League, if the golf tour, if they could somehow get 2 guys, between 25 and 35 to get hot as well, because Scheffler needs a couple guys. on the on the lead. A couple guys. Tiger dominated so much, but for a little while he had David Duval for about a year or two. He had Vijay Singh. Phil Mickelson, we all thought Phil Mickelson never could throw knuckles with Tiger, but he always had the game. You at least had to pay attention. He would make it to the final round with Tiger, and Tiger would get him. But, Jack Nicklaus, he had Lee Trevino, and he had Tom Watson, and guys like that. Scheffler, you want the great ones, and Scotty Scheffler now is, carved his niche as one of the great ones. Got 3 majors. Scheffler's only, 28? I think we looked it up. I think he's roughly 28. So, and 28 to 40, it's not a hard number, but that 28 to 40 is kind of your peak years. Now, you can win in your 40s. It's tough on the tour, but Scheffler's in his peak right now. But to really make it fun, he needs a couple of, running mates, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Needs a couple running mates. That would really amp up professional men's golf, I think. Are you much of a golf guy? You follow golf?
I follow it a tiny bit.
Yeah, me too. I'm not a huge guy. The majors excite me, the players when it comes through here.
Yeah, exactly.
And we just had the French Open yesterday. But yes, Scheffler, it's at Oakmont, as I understand it. That is a very, 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 very tough putting course. Supposedly almost like, the Masters is known for you're almost putting on green cement. It's very, very fast. From what I understand, Oakmont's going to be like that, the setup. So we'll track the U.S. Open. That'll come up Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. As we break a little bit of Jaguar news, or you probably should know, mandatory mini camp. This is the one to go to. They had that mini camp a couple weeks ago, and it was more, what was that, first-year guys, rookie guys?
Yeah.
And, they'll have voluntary ones, and a lot of them will show up. This one, you got to be there. This is mandatory mini camp unless you're injured or you've got something going on that you've asked out of, and that happens occasionally. You may have a graduation or a death or something. I hope not. But most of the guys should be running around these 3 days. Wednesday, it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. There'll be a lot of coverage. Obviously, Action Sports Jax will be out there. We'll have it covered. Obviously, Brent and Stuart and the whole gang will be out there. But Wednesday, it's open to the public. But I got to believe, do you know much about that, Ben, when they open it to the public? They cap it off, right?
Yeah, I believe so. I think
couple 2,000-3,000, I'm guessing.
I believe they there's only the season tickets in first, like people who have season tickets in first.
Yeah, you got to go online and kind of reserve. There's no charge, but they want you to reserve to have kind of a head count, right?
Yeah, I believe it's a cap amount.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
They let season tickets
because there's only so much in that little grandstand, and
exactly.
a couple thousand. But I would guess. I know they announced it last week, and they said, because we talked about it, that this coming Wednesday is the open fan day. And again, because it's mandatory, you should see everybody out there. Other than injury, everybody should be running around out there. But you got to go to the Jaguars site and register and kind of hold your spot. And I think you can only get 2 or hold 2 maybe.
I have no idea.
I don't think you go in there and hold 10. You can't do that.
Just hold out every single ticket.
You don't want to be guy at the movie theater. No, these 10 are gone. They're taken. What do you mean they're taken? Nobody's sitting there. Oh, no, I got 9 friends buying popcorn. 9 friends buying popcorn. Other Jaguar news. The Jaguars today announced they extended by, I think, 4 years Logan Cook, the punter, who's one of the better players on the team. I mean, he is a really, really talented punter. Looks like he'll probably spend the rest of his career with the Jaguars. He's been in the league a while. He was a 7th-round pick back in, I want to say 2018. So he's been in the league a long time. But the Jaguars, I wasn't making fun either. Logan Cook's probably one of the best Jaguar players at his position comparative to the rest of the league. When you say, I think he was second team All-Pro punter, really a weapon. He's a distance punter, and he also does a nice job dropping it inside, the 20, the 10, strategic punting out of bounds to back up teams. The problem, as I said, was unfortunately he punts too much. You don't want your punter to get a lot of work.
Maybe that's why he's so good. He has so much practice.
You said it, not me. You said it, not
I'm
me.
not a Jags fan.
You don't mind your place kicker getting a lot of practice, particularly extra points? and kickoffs.
Yeah.
You don't want your punter lead the league in attempts. You know?
No, probably not.
Not good. Not good. Let me see if there's anything else we need to hit real quick. We'll talk some House ruling, college sports House. The House ruling came down. That's the big news. We talked college baseball. I really want to go back to, I hope you had a chance to see the FSU-Oregon State series, and I hope you had a chance to see the Miami-Louisville. The Noles and the Canes came up short, but man, were they good series. Really, really fun. Florida State played their tail off in Oregon. Miami did the same thing at Louisville. They both came up short. Florida State, gosh, I just wanted them to have a little more of a shot last night in a winner-take-all game with Oregon State. Winner moves on to Omaha, loser goes home. Oregon State scored 7, Ben, in the bottom of the first. The game was over, basically. Florida State closed it. Your final score is 14-10. It never got that close. 7 in the bottom of the first for Oregon State. And so the Noles never really in that third game, but, man, they had their chances in the first game. The second game, Florida State's ace was on the mound, Jamie Arnold. He lived up to his billing. He may be the first pick in the Major League Baseball draft. And the lefty for Oregon State probably outpitched him. Both guys were great in Game 2. And Miami, how about the Canes? They barely made it in the college baseball tournament. Barely got in with an at-large bid, and they got hot, man. What's the old saying, Ben? You can't win it unless you're in it. They got hot. The Canes surprised me. I didn't think they would put up that type of fight. They got won the regional and got all the way to a super regional and came up just short. Big ACC battle, Louisville versus Miami, and Louisville at home had just enough to get by the Hurricanes in that one. Tennessee, Arkansas yesterday, real bummer. I hated to see those two teams. I think Tennessee and Arkansas are two of the best teams in college baseball. They played in a super regional, which I hated. Arkansas took care of Tennessee at home in 2 games. All right, let's take a break, come back. Brent Beard, obviously, will have a lot to talk about with regard to the House settlement. Great news for college sports. We're going to have some structure now. College sports, particularly college football, has been blowing in the wind without structure for about 5 years, and I understand why. College athletics was forced to get ahead of their skis a little bit. We'll dive into that topic mainly on the other side with Brent Beard. We're cruising on a Monday. 30 minutes left here on the Young and Norvelle Show right here on Action Sports Jack.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The schedules are out for another summer of soccer here in Jacksonville with the Armada men's and women's under-23 squads, starting with the ladies and the home opener on May 24th. 2 weeks later, they're back in Northeast Florida for a June 7th matchup. The season wraps up with a pair of Friday night home matches June 20th and the 27th. As for the boys in blue, they debut against a couple league newcomers on May 9th and 17th respectively, with more home dates on May 31st, June 14th, and June 21st. All those matches are at Edward Waters University, and you can watch them live on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Those teams are a big focus on Fleet and Footy, covering the big soccer stories each week on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
I'll put one in the back of the net for you.
Join us for player profiles, fun interviews, and the very latest on the Fleet and all things footy. That's every Thursday at 2 p.m.
Empower a future, inspire a dream. It's a bold but simple mission for the Jacksonville Police Athletic League known as Jags PAL. Help the next generation of kids in Jacksonville shape a brighter future. Their after-school programs, teenage leadership programs. There's community outreach.
This has been just an awesome opportunity to be out here with my colleagues and do something good for the community. It's really been an interesting opportunity to just see everybody work together in a way that we don't normally in the office.
And there's sports. There are also ways you can help the next generation with a donation of any kind. Just visit jaxpal.org to get more information. Empower a future, inspire a dream with Jags PAL.
When you think sports, you think Action Sports Jax, the official station of the Jaguars, on location for every game. But the most experienced team in town doesn't stop there. From high school football to the big events in the area, Action Sports Jax is always on. Now, we take that to a new level. Action Sports Jax 24/7 is around-the-clock coverage of the teams you love and the moments you can't miss. The best local sports in Jacksonville on Action Sports Jax 24/7.
As we welcome you back, I guarantee you that Action Sports Jax, our team here, will be busy Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It'll give you deep, in-depth coverage of the Jaguars' mandatory mini camp. You don't want to miss it here on Action Sports Jax, all over our streaming network, and then, of course, CBS 47, Fox 30. The gang will have tons of stuff over the next 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. With that, we welcome Brent Beard, and just a glorious decision was handed down a couple days ago. And let me qualify this, Brent, for people that may not understand where college sports/football has been and how it's been just blowing in the wind. Imagine this, folks. Imagine the last 5 years. The NFL, the National Football League, imagine the last 5 years has had no rules or regulations on salary cap, and no rules or regulation on free agency. It would be chaotic in the NFL. Well, of course, they have set rules and regulations and guidelines. It took them a long time to get all these. But, Brent, that's what we were wrestling with college sports. And isn't that a glorious decision that's come down once the framework all gets worked out?
I think the big picture thing here is, and I believe Pat's on with us too.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we still have Pat.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Go ahead, Brent.
Yeah, and welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
I think what this decision is, from what I understand, and have read and talked to people over the weekend, it's a trickle down effect. They needed to get something settled in place, and now with this in place, they think that they'll be able to put, I'm not quite sure how you do this, but there's a thought that the road booster will not be so much of a pain in the rear for colleges.
I agree.
At this point, the thing you mentioned, Mingo, Terry, I agree with. This is actually a salary cap.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely it is.
They're avoiding saying this, but in essence, that's what it is. And the trickle down effect with this done now, what we think is going to happen is we're going to be able now to get on with some of the other things that the three of us have been talking about forever, which is, do you stay at 8 or go to 9, or how soon did you go to 16? So this was the big stumbling block that they really needed to get out of the way. And again, it doesn't start until July the 1st. But to Terry's point, it was huge in that dealing with this, it allows us to start to deal with some of this other stuff.
And Pat, another spinoff that came right after the announcement, the there has now been put together basically an enforcement committee.
Yes.
Headed by a guy from baseball, I think. They brought him over, a high-ranking official. And
don't you think they're going to need like a big task force?
Absolutely, they will. Absolutely, they will. And they're going to put together. NIL will still be around, but NIL, which is a code word. Hell, the NFL has NIL. See Patrick Mahomes with State Farm. Now the players can go do anything they want. The universities can't put it. And your NIL will have to go through a clearinghouse if it's over $600, just to make sure it's not the rogue booster just saying, "Hey, Pat, you know, I want you to represent my blankety blank." Even though they'll look into it.
If you come to my school, there's I can't say it's a guaranteed deal, but you might have a deal over at
Yeah. So I think it's a glory. We now will have some guidelines in place. Yeah, I think it's really, really, really good. I think everything that came down is good.
Well, I mean, have they formed that finance group that's going to be the accounting and try to?
As I understand it, yes.
Yes.
That what do they call it? You got to pay. The pay has to go through a clearinghouse payment center.
Right.
To the athletes, and the NIL deals have to be brought. And they're subject to make sure they're legitimate deals. So Joe Big Booster can't just go, well, I'm going to pay the hot shot quarterback. And they're going to try and put some market value on it. You can't really say, well, I want to pay Patrick Young to come clean one bathroom, wink, wink, once a week for $50,000. You can't do that.
Well, shoot, Terry, we analytics the crap out of everything. So
well, we do. In the names of this stuff, as you guys mentioned, NIL Go is a new software system. It's managed by Deloitte, if I'm pronouncing that right.
Deloitte, that famous accounting. That famous accounting company,
That's
Deloitte.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, listen, for both of you, I've got to, and I give credit where it's due here. Chris Vanini made a really, and this is a short tweet, but it sums up all this stuff. He says, "I still maintain we may not have had to go down this long, winding road of NIL and house settlement if the NCAA had just let players have their video game money a decade ago."
Yes, I saw that.
EA wanted to pay players. O'Bannon, which is where all this came from, didn't want the game to go away, but the NCAA leadership said no. For both of you, listen, I still contend
Ed O'Bannon.
if they would have given Ed O'Bannon, if they would have given a basketball player from UCLA, if they had given these guys some money way down 10 years ago, they may have been pretty happy with that for another 10 to 20 years.
Pat, you were coming through Florida.
I just missed it.
The time frame, you just missed not getting a little bit of that 2 point whatever billion back pay. They went 10 years back, I think. You just missed it. But when you were at Florida, that whole Ed O'Bannon using that whole thing was probably 7 or 8 years old. And Pat, what Brent's talking about, if you don't remember, Ed O'Bannon was a pretty good player at UCLA. Might have won that national title that Jim Herrick won. Pretty good player. He was a big recruit, played at UCLA. I don't think he might have had a cup of coffee in the NBA, but pretty good player. Well, I don't know if it was Madden or NCAA basketball or something. It was coming out. And historically, when this thing came out year after year after year, they would put such as a player that was wearing an orange and blue uniform that might have wore number 4, that might have kind of looked like Patrick Young. You know, they used rosters and names. But Ed O'Bannon and his group of players, I think they kind of put a civil suit together and they go, whoa. Why do we not get, when you go to 1995 UCLA basketball, why does it say and use Ed O'Bannon, but I'm not getting a dime? So that started a lawsuit that, Brent, that thing went on for 15, 20 years, didn't it?
Went on that long.
Yeah.
Brent did it? Listen, guys, the crazy thing about this, back then, and I may be off for a few $100s, but all these guys wanted was like $500 to $1,000
Yeah.
from their
Yeah.
name.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if they
Some of
would have
that,
given it to them?
But Pat, knowing you, and I'm being serious for a minute, and Brett and I have gotten to know you pretty good now, and I'm being serious here, Pat. You've got a good head on your shoulders, and you've got a business acumen to your thought process. I would imagine that if you had heard that, if you played that video game and you pulled up Florida tonight versus Georgetown basketball, and this is the Florida 2013 team, and you saw P. Young, number 4, you probably would have went, and your mom and dad may have even said, well,
it's kind of hard because I need to put 33-year-old brain into 24-year-old brain. That's
fair
what
enough.
I need to do first.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
It's probably one of those things. If somebody, I wouldn't have really. I would have probably just thought, "Oh man, this is really cool." And then maybe one of my friends would have said, "Hey man, like, do you get paid for this?"
And then one of your buddies studying law back then might have said.
Ironic, you say that. The only non-athlete roommate I ever had, we're still really good friends. It was Will You Get, myself, Eric Murphy, and Evan Fingert.
Really?
And he's an attorney?
He's attorney up in Colorado. Yeah. So yeah, you're right, man. I would have figured this out then.
I bet one of y'all, he might have said, "Well, Pat, what's the deal? Why are they using?" Think about any type of video game back then that maybe had. I bet you, if you wanted to put a Marvel comic guy, Marvel would have said, "You got to pay us." If you wanted,
guys, I've always wondered this, like, and this is it's on subject but in a different space. Like RC Cola, Mr. Pibb. How are those drinks that are striving to be identical to Coke, Pepsi, Dr. Pepper? How was that? Like in the space of licensing and rights, I've never understood how that's possible. And we can probably fill the blank in with a whole bunch of different products, but that was something that came to my mind the other day.
Brent, do you anticipate the unfair question, but to get everything, I know the enforcement group is putting things together. It's still going to take a year or two to get everything spit shined, isn't it? Don't you think?
Yeah. And look, I tell you what's coming. And Pat, Terry and I texted about this over the weekend, and it's just a matter of time before we go to collective bargaining.
Yeah.
That
has to happen.
I'm just telling you right now, that is inevitable. And I think that gets here sooner than later, because
the best people to run to run that would be super passionate, and I mean they'd be a little biased.
Right.
The players that didn't get the check. Like
the
players that were fighting for it, because I remember there was a group that met with the commissioner of some basketball players some years ago.
I remember that too.
That was and they just got shut down. Like it was like NCAA paraded them around like, we'll talk to you, but we're not doing anything.
Oh yeah, sure. Well, if the NCAA had listened to some people, they'd be a lot better off. But I'm not going to get in the weeds with this because some people will get bored with it. But all I'm saying is part of this, and Terry has made this obvious 2 or 3 times. If you go to collective bargaining, you actually get some of the guidelines and guardrails that we've been looking for the whole time.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yep.
And look, here's the other thing with that is if you're, and we've said this many times, if you're signing a contract with somebody, your rear end can also get fired.
You could get fired.
If you've got a contract with somebody,
and breach of contract, you may be. Before you take off and want to leave, you may say, "Well, wait a minute. We wrote it in there. You owe us a buyout, Mr. Player."
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. And they're trying to get that done now with Nico, the University, or Nico's brother, is University of Arkansas is trying to get that back from him. But anyway, I won't belabor the point.
Tennessee's trying to get it back. From
Arkansas trying to get it back.
Arkansas to his little brother.
Yeah, to his little brother.
And they had given him some upfront money. They'd give him some
I'm thinking about this. We get a collective bargaining, and I do see the picture of who would be representing the heads of it. Are you getting it? It probably just needs to start with football only. Just football separate. Because I'm like, there's no way and it's still going to be a hard task getting every player to sign the agreement.
Well, Patrick, Brent, I think you were around because you and I talked about that collective bargaining article last week.
Do they vote?
Yes.
Do all the players vote?
Well, it's got all this has got to get worked out. Will they have a players committee?
Correct.
But Pat, there was an interesting article last week, and Brent and I went over it about collective bargaining.
Yes.
Danny White, the AD at Tennessee, was the main character in the article, and they talked about, and we know this, the universities do not want the players to be employees because of all the extra expense, workman's comp, benefits, maybe family benefits, maybe retirement. So they are staunch against it because of that. So you say, okay, well, that's going to kill it maybe. No, they used a great example. The Screen Actors Guild, and I never thought we'd be talking about actors and actresses. The Screen Actors Guild, which is some 300,000 strong members, they are not because the universities don't want unions. They don't want to deal with unions at all.
Right.
Well, the Screen Actors Guild, hence the name guild, they're not a union. They are all independent contractors is how they get around a lot of it and make it happy for both sides. So I could see college sports doing something along the independent contractor route to make both sides happy.
I think that's going to be the way they have to go. Yeah,
might have to go that way.
Yeah.
And the Screen Actors Guild also has the issue. Remember this, the NFL, they have 32 franchises in 20 different states. They're not dealing with every state. Every state has different laws. That's why the Screen Actors Guild, they film in all 50 states. That's why they get away from a lot of the hard laws. Well, we're not employees bringing into your state. They're independent contractors. They fall under.
There was a big with the guild a few years ago with that big protest.
They struck.
That was going on for a while.
They struck.
That's very union-like.
Yeah,
They were protesting
and
and stuff like that.
It is a union, a soft union. But it gives you.
We should have been on at 5 o'clock. This conversation is getting good.
It is.
Now we're about to go.
And listen. There's another part of this that needs to be brought up, Pat. When Terry and I were talking about this last week, the other guy sitting there at the table in this interview was University of Tennessee president.
Yeah.
And the question was brought up to the press. And Terry, you remember this in the article? Even the president said, We've got to have it eventually. Do you remember that?
Bargaining. Yeah, he said. The president asked, "What's the answer to college sports moving forward?" And Danny White, the AD, said, he goes, "I know we're rolling camera. I'm sorry. The answer is collective bargaining. The players have to have an organized group that can negotiate with the universities. Always remember. I always point this out. The universities are acting as the owners in the owner. The NFL owners, the NFLPA. The owners are the universities, and the NFL PA is whatever form of union or guild the players form. It's coming together. Last week was
like the college owner is probably going to be a room full of way more people than in an NFL franchise.
Yes,
making those decisions.
Yeah.
But Florida doesn't even have a president.
Yeah. We got 3 minutes, guys, so this won't be a long discussion. We can carry it over. The next fascinating thing, I think, and it's going to be kind of an individual university decision. Everybody's going to get $20.8 million. That's your salary cap. It goes up every year with inflation, blah, 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 blah. So everybody's got – now that's for the entire athletic department. The way these universities are going to divvy it out, Texas came out and told everybody they're going to do 15 of the 20 million is going to go to football.
Yes.
Three to men's basketball.
Yes.
Like 1 to women's basketball and 1 for all the other sports. You got to figure out now, Patrick. What if you are Coastal Carolina? Do you say we would rather put all, or what if you're Vanderbilt? What if you're Vanderbilt and you say, you know what, all in all, we aren't going to be able to compete for national titles in football with Bama. We'll play them. And now, what if Vanderbilt goes, we want to put the bulk of our money in basketball?
Do they have to, A big question with a lot of this stuff we're talking about, does this all have to be public record? Like, is that clearinghouse? Are we going to know how much money
well, that's a
players
great
making?
question.
I would think it would be, unless it's a private, like Miami and Notre Dame could probably shield theirs. But I think if it's public,
because I think the potential parity here is that every team, every organization kind of tries to do it their own way.
That's what I'm saying. If you're Texas Tech, do you say, why don't we fund basketball? We could win a title in basketball a lot easier than football.
Right.
You know, so they could easily say, we're going to give football $5 million. We're going to give basketball $10 million.
Well, but to Pat's point, I don't see the NCAA forcing schools.
No.
To go. Now, here's my understanding on the percentages. Like 75 to 80% goes to football. My understanding was with the 75, I think, Terry, 15% is going to baskalball.
Yeah, but I don't think you're forced to do these numbers.
Correct.
You make the individual university decision.
Just to start out, why wouldn't each know? Because then there'd be some sports that make no money. I was going to say, why don't they just show the revenue and match it to?
Yes.
But there's sports not to be named that don't make any money.
It's fascinating. I think it's a great first step to. And we got 30 seconds left, guys. Got to get out of here. But we did have a 5-year period with these players in this 5-year period. They got by. It was a Wild West. And Brent's got his magazine. Not a lot of TV watching for Brent tonight. He's got his magazine. All right, guys, got to get out of here. Fascinating discussion. We'll keep it going.
Do it again.
Thanks to Patrick Young. Thanks to Brent Beard, of course, Ben producing, and Mike Freed, our comedian. Get back together tomorrow, 4 o'clock, for the next edition of the Young and Norvelle Show on Action Sports.
God bless everybody.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
Are you about to graduate high school and haven't decided on what you want to do when you get done? Well, one option is to apply to become a student in the Electrical Training Alliance of Jacksonville. Their program offers structured classroom and online training, along with on-the-job training so that you can earn while you learn. Still not convinced? The folks at ETA Jax are a tuition-free 4-year apprenticeship program. There is no tuition and no student debt. Just pay for your books and your fees. That's it. Now, speaking of pay, Students, they start off making $40,000 per year, including benefits, and they graduate, get this, making over $80,000 per year, including those sought-after benefits. Now, that sounds pretty good to me, and if that sounds good to you, it should check off a lot of boxes. So head on over to etajax.org and apply by May 15th. Again, the website right here, etajax.org. Don't wait, apply today.
The rhythm of my heart is beating like a drum, with We Armada rolling off our tongues. Never will we roam, for we know our place is down. Where the ocean meets the skies, we be sailing. Where the ocean meets the skies, we be sailing.